Okay, cool. Hey there. Now I'm just going to get Kim to work through the 3 exercises that we're talking about. So that was creating minor triads, creating major triads, and creating dominant chords. Cool. So maybe we'll just start with the major triads. Yep. Okay. So I'm just going to suggest, there's no correct way to practice these exercises. There's so many different ways, right? But just for today, if you can try to keep the chords in between the middle C, which is the center of the piano, and the C that's an octave below the middle C, which is here, and try to start our chord, our first note, our root note, within these realms.
Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And would you like me to demonstrate you one more time the exercise, or would you like to just give it a go?
Can you? Yeah, that would be great.
Yep.
Thanks.
So I'll do it nice and slowly. Great. Hopefully that's not too overwhelming. And if you have any issues, just reach out. But I'll just quickly, I'll demonstrate again just on the C, just as a reminder how we build those chords.
Mm-hmm.
So we start with the note we want to start with, so which is obviously C, which is on top of which is the first, what people would consider the first note in the circle, our fourth or fifth, or fourth of our example. Then we just want to add 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
Then we add 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
So that's C major. And if I pick another random note, let's just say F sharp. Again, we're just adding 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're adding 3. 1, 2, 3. Cool.
Okay.
So maybe just give it a go.
Okay.
Maybe if you want, you can start by placing your right thumb on the C note. And then just remember, for this exercise, this is not an absolute rule, but we want to stick to our thumb, which we consider 1, and our 3rd finger and our 5th finger. We only use those at the moment. Later on, when you're playing, you're getting really good at piano, you can use a variety of different fingerings, but just for beginners, I think it's really good to encourage the 1, 3, 5, the fingers 1, 3, and 5.
Okay, so 1,
3, 5.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So we start with C.
Yeah.
Then Kim, can I get you to add 4 on top of the C?
So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep, nice. And then, do you remember how many we have to add for the last note?
Is it 3?
Yep, nice.
Okay.
So add that using your pinky.
2,
2, 3.
3.
Nice. So that's really good. That's our, I guess, if we're gonna, the first, I guess, answer is correct. Like the first part, you've played one out of 12 of the chords correctly.
Awesome.
So that's, what do you reckon might be the next? What's the next note that's after C if we go anti-clockwise?
So F.
Yep, nice. So just the same thing. So put your thumb on F and just add 4.
2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And then add.
And then 1, 2.
Nice. Cool. So maybe I'll guide you through the next 2 more, and then you can try to run through the circle. So maybe put your thumb on B flat. So B flat's just there. And then we go C, and then we go, add 4.
1, 2, 3.
Then
3.
cool. Nice. And then maybe you can, I'll show you, maybe like put your thumb on E, if you want E flat, sorry. Add 4.
4.
And then, if you remember, what was the last one?
1, 2.
Yeah, nice. Cool. Now, I'll release you from your nest, and maybe you can figure out the rest of the circle. So I'll just leave you, and if I hear anything funny, I'll just reach out to you. But if you're looking really good, then I won't say anything. So.
Okay, so A flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. A, and then D flat. 1, 2, 3. Is it D flat or C sharp?
Yep. So it looks like you've played the right note, and
Yeah.
when we're referring to black notes, each black note has 2 names generally.
Okay.
Oh, not generally. It's a pretty fixed rule. So usually in this scenario, if I could just get you to release your hand.
Yeah.
With this particular note here that's in between the C and D, that's black, it has 2 names, so it can be referred to as C sharp and D flat, and you might wonder, well, how does that sort of happen? So If we look at the note that is under the black note, we have a C, and if we go from C up one step back to that note, we call that a sharp.
Okay.
And you think of sharps as almost like a knife that's pointy and it's pointing up.
Okay.
But if you look at the note that's the white note that's above that black note,
Yeah.
we can see at the D note, and if we take it, go back to it, it's
Yeah.
almost like we're flattening a box. So so flat, flattening a box, going down would
Okay.
be D to D flat.
Okay, so it's both. It's
Yep.
C sharp and D
Right,
flat.
yeah.
Okay.
Was that clear to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, and then
Just so try to create a major triad off that D flat. Count 4. Yep, nice. So maybe let's see if you can let's just maybe work through that as fast as you can, maybe back to C, and then maybe we'll move on to the minor chords, and then you can practice the rest of that routine maybe for homework.
Okay.
Yep.
So G flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
And then B. 1, 2, 3.
All right. So it looks like you've made a different sound that we're going after.
Yeah.
So you want to maybe just double check your answers. Maybe you want to add 4. Just check if the first interval is 4.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we add. Do you remember what the last step was?
And then 3.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. I shouldn't be laughing, disrespecting my student. Shouldn't be disrespecting. Nice. It's too fast. Nice. And back home. Nice. Well done. So you've completed 1/3 of the exercise that's
Okay.
required for homework.
Awesome.
And let's just maybe move on to minors, and we'll just do the same thing, but we'll start with the circle on the inside, which is obviously A minor.
Yeah.
And let's just try and go anti-clockwise. And you can go clockwise. It's just I prefer. I have honestly a biased preference to fourths, considering the music that I'm into. But maybe would you like to go the other way? Would you like to
Yeah.
try maybe going by fifths? Which is
Totally.
Yep. So let's just try that. So maybe we can start on A minor. So that's your first one. That's your first answer. So yep. So do you remember what the formula was for minors?
Nope.
Okay, so we usually just add 3 from our starting note, or root, as one would call. So we could be 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So our first answer of that triad is A and E.
Okay.
Then we add another 4 on top of that second note. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Your answer should be A, C, and E.
Okay.
And I just want you to copy and paste that across all the notes in that particular order.
Okay, C.
Nice.
Okay. And then E minor.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Nice. Yep. So if we I'll just release your hand for a moment. If you want to try and, not that this is there are many ways we can make triads using the circle, but maybe we want to just try and stick to between middle C and the C an octave lower than middle C.
Okay.
The only
Oh,
reason,
yeah, I
yeah,
forgot.
that's right. So the only reason we want to stick to that range is, based on my biased opinion, is when we're trying to create chords for other singers. So generally, if we play chords that are higher than middle C, not that there's anything wrong with it, but we tend to clash or get in the way of the singer. So we want to try and stay within our range.
Okay.
And I just think, in my, again, biased opinion, that the range between middle C and the C that's an octave below it is a really nice range for chords.
Okay.
And then later on, once we get really good at piano, we can start creating chords really higher up.
Mm-hmm.
But just for this demonstration, we want to stick to that range. So do you want to try and also I noticed you didn't play the correct formula as well. So we want to just remember, start on the root, add 3,
Yeah.
then add 4.
Oh, okay.
So that's the answer.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So that one.
Yep.
And then B.
Yep.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Nice. Yep.
And then F sharp. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Awesome.
And C sharp. And G sharp. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nice.
E flat. And B flat.
Nice. done really well. That's really good. That was pretty solid. Maybe let's have a look at we've just got on the 10-minute mark, but maybe we can just sneak in the last exercise as well.
Okay.
And just a reminder, so the last exercise was just trying to play, create dominant chords, but we're trying to, rather than trying to follow the circle this time, we can even close the laptop for a moment.
Ooh, okay.
Yep, we want to maybe follow a different pattern, and that pattern is following the chromatic scale, which is, the chromatic scale is basically, whatever note we're starting on, we're just going up one step at a time, so it just sounds like this if we consider C. So, yep, in the other scenario, in the other examples, we were following fourths, so in that, the fourths were basically, when we're shifting up after every 5 steps, so that would be C to F, which would be, we're just doing, we're taking one step at a time for every chord in this scenario. So just a quick random question, do you remember what the formula for dominant chords were, if we consider maybe...
I know there was a major chord.
Nice. So if I create a major chord, if we even just consider maybe F, and create a major, F major triad.
Yeah.
And do you remember how many steps we have to take after the third note?
Was it 4?
Oh, close. So it's actually 3.
Okay.
Like that. So I guess for F, when we reach it, it'd be F, A, C, then we add a E flat.
Okay.
Yeah. So we want to keep that shape. There are actually a lot of really cool ways to play dominant chords, but this is like the most basic way to play it and a really good starting point for us. We don't want to do any crazy stuff at the start, or crazy voicings or anything sophisticated, because if we try to jump to the more sophisticated stuff, it might throw us off.
Okay.
Cool. So maybe we can start with the C. Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
So what fingers?
Yep. So what we can do is, there are different ways to use our fingers to play these chords, but just in this scenario, we want to try and stick to using our 1, 2, 3, and then our pinky on the 7th. Yeah, nice. So I guess you may have noticed the difference between the first 2 exercises and this exercise is, in the first exercise, I may have mentioned that I encourage students to use their 1, 3, and 5.
Yeah.
But because we're playing 4 notes, we want to shift that and use our 1, 2, 3, and 5th. Because if we use our 1, 3, 5, it's going to obviously be really hard to reach our 7th.
Yeah.
We don't want to be using our other hand. Looks a bit silly. So that looks really good.
Okay.
There's actually, if I try to figure out other ways to do it, it's kind of like, I guess you could do like the 7th first, the root, and then our other 2 notes. But that's not a really good way to like understand the chord when we're starting out. We just want to use a 1, 3, and 5. So we just stick to that.
Okay.
Yeah, nice. So maybe if you just shift, this is the challenging part where people might struggle. We want to just shift every single note up one step now. So maybe C, oh, close. So we want to have a look at what, including all the black notes, we want to just take one step up. So I'll give you the first answer, which would be C sharp. And maybe if we look, so just remember that.
Yeah.
I'll even hold it down for you.
Okay.
So if you remember, we had E. E was our next note in the C dominant
Yeah.
chord. So what do you reckon is the next note after E?
So F.
Yep, nice. So I'll hold down F here.
Okay.
And then we had a G held down before. So what's one step after G?
So G sharp.
Yep, nice. So we're looking for a one more answer. So if we had a B flat before, what happens if we take it up a step?
B.
Nice. So this should be your answer that we're looking for.
Oof, that looks uncomfortable. So that one.
Yep.
That one.
Nice. Yep. Yep. So this is a pretty difficult exercise, I must say, for a beginner.
Yeah.
But if you can try and
This is a weird handshake.
yeah. So we can just try to stick to that. Try to just move it all up step by step and see how you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then 1
Nice and slowly.
I feel like I've got a claw going on.
Yeah. It's looking really good. So close. So you just got to be careful with this scenario, but we still want to be adding four, going up by 4 steps from our first note.
Yeah.
So if you don't just want to bring your second note down a step,
yeah.
nice.
Cool.
And just copying that shape, I guess, and shifting that up again. Nice. Yep. Commit. Beautiful. Yeah. Looking good. Beautiful. You got this. Oh, that sounds wild, but not what we want. It sounds really good though. You've made a little mistake there. You want to maybe shift your third note down a step.
Okay.
That should. Oh, maybe not. Maybe just have a look what you were doing. Oh, yeah, you were really close there. So now what we've got to do is shift our top note down a step. See what happens. Yeah, that sounds much better.
Okay.
Cool. Woo! On fire. And maybe take us back home to the crazy C chord there. Yeah, awesome. You've done really well there. And then maybe at home you can work on your speed and put on what we call a metronome. You can download that onto the App Store. You can just follow that click sound and work upwards. You can practice it using the circle or 4/5 chromatically.
Okay.
You can practice that in thirds, fourths. Maybe just write down some random notes on a piece of paper and just try to like follow the sheet that you've created, that random order you created.
Mm-hmm.
And after a couple of weeks, couple of months, you'll have that all memorized. And if anybody ever throws a chart at you, you should be able to play any of those 3 chords. Whether it's pop, jazz, reggae. Yep. So yeah. Yeah. There's some other chords as well, but as I said before, but I think those are the 3 foundational ones for beginners. But yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Cheers.